Bring in Harold Reynolds, Major League Baseball Network analyst, former Gold Glove winner. He joins us now on the program. Elvis Andrus has a big contract there. What is going on here? That he got 8 years, $120 million. Am I missing something here, HR?
This is the new wave of the future, Dan. I think a lot of clubs are locking up like John Hart did years ago. Only difference the money is a lot higher than it was in mid-'90s when he was locking up his Indians. But teams are locking up their young players and trying to extend it out, and that's what they're doing.
Riskier contract. What the Rangers did with Elvis, what the Tigers did with Verlander, what the Giants did with Posey.
I lost what you said. What'd you say?
A riskier contract. If you're the Tigers, Giants, Rangers, and you pony up this kind of money, these contract extensions, which one will be the riskiest contract?
I always think it's pitchers. I mean, anytime you're going, 10 years out on a pitcher or 7 years or whatever it might be, that's always riskier because of the fact that of the motion and just an arm injury. I mean, you look at King Felix, we can throw in there too. It really started back then. He got 7 years, $175 million from the Mariners, and they thought he had an elbow problem. They still gave him the money. So I think that's the most risky thing as a pitcher.
And I guess I would look at Verlander, who I think is he just turned 30. Posey, of course, had the broken ankle, but he's so valuable to that team. I'd probably look at Verlander because all it takes is just one little tweak here. Speaking of pitchers. The Nationals, everybody seems to fall in love with them as the team to beat in the National League. Do you agree with that?
I got the Braves winning the East. I mean, I love the Nationals, but I think they're going to go through some hiccups this year. I don't think it's going to be as breezy as it was last season.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I love the pitching the Braves have. You like they have enough?
I like their team. I just think you look at the outfield with the Upton, and Hayward, but Freddie Freeman's a guy that I think everybody should be watching. He's got a chance not only to drive in a lot of runs, but to win a batting title. He's that good of a player. And then you just go around the diamond. I just think they're a solid club.
Steven Strasburg, no pitch count, innings count, nothing count?
Well, that's what they're saying, and hopefully they let him go. I still think they missed out on a grand opportunity last year, but that was their decision that they got to live with moving forward. But I hope he's able to go. He's truly one of the great pitchers in the game, fun to watch, electric stuff, and it'd be nice to see what he could do on a full year.
I like Tampa a lot this year. I know people like Detroit maybe as the team to beat in the East, but I like Tampa for some reason. What do you think?
Man, we're missing it today, DP. I'm not on the Tampa bandwagon.
Are you on the Blue Jays?
I don't see – no, I'm not seeing the Rays being the club everybody thinks they're going to be this year.
Okay.
And I'll take a bold prediction for you. I think David Price gets moved before the year's out. I think that's how far back they'll be.
Wow. He'll get traded because they won't be in the race?
They won't be in the race to where they're going to be in the playoffs. I think come August, September, they're going to be that team going, do we make a push or do we trade him? And I think they're going to have to end up trading him eventually anyway, and I think they reload making a move at that time.
Okay. If I said in order where they finish, the Yankees, Red Sox, and Rays.
That's a great one. I think the Rays finish ahead of the Yankees and the Red Sox. We could see Yankees or Sox in the cellar. Not sure which one. I think with the key injuries they both have out right now, it'll be an arms race to see who gets back and gets healthy. So I'll have a better idea come mid-May. But I say those two clubs are going to battle for the cellar.
He's Harold Reynolds. Major League Baseball Network will air 15 hours of coverage of opening day, the premiere of MLB Now with Harold and Brian Kinney coming up at 8 p.m. Eastern. Let me go out west with the Dodgers. $240 million payroll. Is it World Series or bust?
I think it is. I mean, you put that kind of money in it, it's a bad season if you don't win at all. I think they're going to be close, though. I look for them down the stretch again with that kind of money and the ability to have to make moves. If they need to, they will. But I like the club right now the way it is. Carl Crawford's the key, though. He's healthy. He's back. I think he'll be the big difference maker.
Better team in Southern California, Angels, Dodgers.
Ooh, that's a good question. question, but I like the Dodgers better. I think their starting pitching is a difference maker.
If you have Trout have that year, and of course he wasn't there the first month of the season last year, but now I got Hamilton in there. Pujols hopefully is back to what he once was. Who has the best year out of those three? Pujols, Hamilton, or Trout?
Well, they're all three different. But I would say of the three, I'll say Mike Trout because he's going to be at the top of the order, and he's got a chance to hit 30 home runs again and steal the bases and score the runs. So I look for him to have a better opportunity because those two are hitting behind him. He's going to get pitched to a little bit more.
Now, give me your predictions. And so who represents the American League and National League in the World Series?
I got Tigers and the Reds. I may be off in the National League a little bit, but I'm pretty confident with the American League. I like the Tigers a lot. I think they're deep. I know they're going to struggle at the beginning trying to figure out who's going to be their closer. I don't think the bullpen by committee thing will work or stand or is in their plans, but I think they'll find a guy that can close for them, and they're going to win the AL.
Give me the surprise team in the National League and the American League.
The surprise team in the National League, I think the Pirates are going to be battling some people, surprisingly so. The American League, my surprise club is going to be the Kansas City Royals, although it may not be a big surprise to a lot of people, but I think they're going to be right there in the mix.
Yeah, I wanted to pick them last year to make the playoffs, and we keep waiting for all that young talent. But, we've been waiting a long time. This might be the year. MVP is going to be who?
MVP. We do all these crazy shows, so you try to stick to the people you think you brought up before. But I probably had like 10 different people, so I'm not sure.
Oh, come on, HR. You should have one MVP. This isn't like your brackets.
Prince Fielder as the American League MVP, and I think it's his year. I mean, he protected Braun. He protected Miguel Cabrera, so I think he's going to be the MVP in the American League. And the National League MVP, I'm torn. I think Adrian Gonzalez or Matt Kemp because I think the Dodgers are going to make that run. You're
just making this up as you go along, aren't you?
No. I checked the records. I did a show yesterday. It's there. I'm there.
All right, I'm going to check. You know what? McLovin or Fritzy, check the records here.
Check me out, McLovin. Come on now.
You should check out McLovin today. He's got short shorts on because he lost a bet. He cheated in our bracket challenge, so now he's wearing Dartmouth cross-country shorts. And you know what? It's tough to look good in cross-country shorts, but that's what he's got on today. Not good.
So who you liking as MVP, DP? Who you got?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. You can say anything at the beginning of the year. We never hold you guys accountable.
Oh, no, I know you'll play it back. That's why I got to be real strong with what I'm saying.
I wouldn't.
I got to be ready when I go on your show.
Well, I'm looking at everybody sort of follows, we're all lemmings, and everybody's like, oh, the Nationals are good. Okay, I like them. I just don't know when they need to win a game, will they win a game? I like their manager.
That's the key.
Right?
That's the key. You know what? Last year, they were the team that just nobody really expected. Now, when you come there and you're ready to play them, it's a little different look. I mean, you're going to get those clubs that nobody's expecting. Houston's going to go in there ready and play them in an early game or something like that. And that type of club will steal a couple of games. And really, I'm glad I brought up Houston real quick. I think that's the club that's going to be the biggest difference maker in the American League races because in the American League West, if you don't beat the Astros 15 out of 19, you're not winning the division. You're not going to the playoffs.
Well, as good as that division.
Simple as that. Yeah, and the Rangers are already down one on them. So that, to me, is the key to the West.
Seattle's going to be better. We know Oakland was very good last year. You put the Rangers in there, put the Angels in there. Okay, toughest division in baseball is?
I think it's the National League East. I thought for a long time it was going to be the American League West, but the National League East is loaded, and I think people have forgotten about the Phillies. Anytime you got those guys that can pitch, Roy Halladay is not going to pitch like he did in the spring. He'll get it together. But you got Utley and Howard for a full season, and I think they're going to challenge some folks in the East that are going to make it real difficult.
Have fun today and tonight. We'll be watching HR.
Thank you, DP. Talk to you soon.
Oh, by the way, you owe us a gold glove.
You still? Oh, You never got it? I'm coming in. When you're in the studio, I will bring it in and be on your show. Yeah, we were going to do that, and I'm going to leave it for you. I already have one ready at my office.
Okay, but wait a minute. You made it sound like you sent it.
Well, you know what? I started thinking I did, but I didn't. I'm making an in-person, in-studio presentation to you.
You know what? I'm going to charge you with an error, Mr. Gold Glove, on not sending it.
No, I'm not going to send it. I want to bring it in person.
All right. We'll wait. Thanks,
Okay.
HR. All right.
All right, buddy.
All right.
Talk to you later.
Harold Reynolds, Major League Baseball Network. They got 15 hours of coverage of opening day, Major League Baseball Network.